today. From SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
It's a gain of 5.
A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 14 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week. It's a pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle all the way.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So now the Rams will get their first opportunity with a football. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with the pick. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
They'll take over.
Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And it's caught at the 7-yard line. And the Cardinals are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Herbert now to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
He did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They'll try and pound it in with Drake.
Drake again, the ball carrier.
The defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on.
And Hopkins has got it. Touchdown, Arizona. DeAndre Hopkins. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead.
For the extra point.
Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The numbers for him from a week ago. 14 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown. I can't remember the last time we did a game and the coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun. Incomplete here.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Drake. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On 2nd down, it's Drake, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running, it's Drake. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 4 at the 37.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On the option, here's Herbert. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Herbert off of play action. Throw left side complete. That's Drake. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 3 yards the gain there, second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 16. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. Well, now they'll try the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a second and long. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they'll try the option on first and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Back to throw here, Herbert. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Going to be incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver. That takes us from second to third down.
Brings up third down and
from the gun. Here's Goff. He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 4 yard, 11 more on that one, and another first down.
First down.
Again, Goff. You got a man over the middle. It's Woods. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. That was the safety Taylor Rapp right there on the coverage. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. The Rams on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Goff. Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. And this one is right through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Oh, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Play action. It's Herbert. Ball complete to Isabella. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Drake. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. They'll run with Drake. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. This one caught by Isabella. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 22-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Cardinals.
On 1st down, Drake. Open space inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Gerald Everett, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, you're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
It's been unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25.
25-yard line.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Brings up second.
On second and a couple. Goff looking underneath. He's got Akers. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49.
He's across
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Drake. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 4-yard line.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now a first down throw, gone. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The final shot before break here. Goff. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. On 1st and 10, Goff. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. So here are the Cardinals to take over. Last week, they got the victory against the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the lead in this one as well right now. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. He was 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Off play action. Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. He is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Love the play call that time. Love the design. You put 3 tight ends on the field. That screams jumbo set, running formation to a defense, right? No, they go play action, and defense gets confused for just a split second. And next thing you know, completion for good yardage.
Pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a handoff for Drake. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 8. Herbert.
That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Back at the 12-yard line.
Rams go nickel here defensively on third. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Through the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
9-yard attempt.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And it will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns. Now it's a 21-point game. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
5-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8. At the 27.
They'll go again here with Akers. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Pulled in at the 24. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 30, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Here's Herbert. They'll set up the screen to Gray. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Complete to.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Off the play fake. Herbert. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with the tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That's a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, As many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Throwing on third. Goff. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator. That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. And incompletion as a result.
And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Off play action to Akers. Here's Goff.
In a heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On second down, here's Herbert. And it's caught. And he's brought down. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Gerald Everett. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Here's a good way to kick off the drive, complete over the middle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
45-yard line.
Out of the gun. Goff. And over the middle, this is Parker. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Goff throwing complete to Cup. And he'll be brought down, looks like right at the 40. That one a first down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Throwing again is Goff. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Right side complete. That's Woods. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just take a ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
On first down, gone.
He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
And a yard at the 14-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And hang on here. Oh, boy, an injury, and that's Cooper Kupp, who remains down on the turf. While the trainers take a look, they'll step aside. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Pickup of 2. Brings up 2nd and goal.
They'll look to run with Akers.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Cam Akers. His second touchdown on the season. And the Rams are in for 6.
Well, it's been a tough day, but they finally were able to get one into the end zone, and maybe the offense will feel a little bit better about itself going into next week.
And if you're a coach taking that into next week, I know you're upset, but it is a little bit more respectable, somewhat of a moral victory, right?
Yeah, they probably won't say a lot of that to the team, but it is true. Something for them to build.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st down, Drake. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Taken down.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They stay on the ground with Drake. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Ball carrier.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
takes this about 5 yards deep. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25. L.A. readies for its next possession. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
39-yard line.
From the gun, here's Goff.
That's into the hands of Akers, complete.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on second down. Goff. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Those passes intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off right around the 43. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and we knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throw, but he makes the catch.
7 yards, the pickup there.
It's a gain of 7.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Third down and 3 yards to go.
Goff on 3rd down. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Goff throwing again. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Intended target was Cam Akers.
But it's going to be 2nd down.
10 at the 24-yard line.
Again, Goff. It's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again. Goff. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Back in the end zone. Can he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They go ahead and snap it. And it's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. And they will take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Arizona, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for our entire crew, along